I'm Sam Nix, and I love to speak about all things leadership. I'm excited today to have my sister with me today. I don't know if any of you have ever seen the show Good Times with JJ and Thelma, or Martin with Martin and Pam, or even Sanford and Son with Fred and Aunt Esther. But that loving banter back and forth is what my sister and I do. So we're going to try to be on our best behavior today. But I'm excited because we're going to talk today about marketing. And we're going to talk today about some of the biggest myths in marketing when it comes to leaders. And my sister is an expert when it comes to communication, when it comes to marketing. She majored in marketing in college. She matriculated through leadership and education, being a teacher, an assistant principal, a principal, and even leading large districts in the North Texas area with their whole communications department for an entire school district, multiple school districts. So I'm excited to have my sister here today. Sharice, talk to the people a little bit about who you are, what your expertise is in marketing, and just give us a little feel of kind of what that means to you, communication and marketing.
I'm so happy to be here with you, Sam, talking about a subject that I'm very passionate about. He kind of gave my resume to you guys, so I'm excited to be here. Have a lot of experience on campus and also at the district level. Marketing is something that is important because it helps propel you and position you in such a way that you're able to communicate what your goals, your visions are. It helps you to build credibility, and it helps just identify who you are as a person. So I'm excited about the conversation today, and let's get into it.
Okay. Sharice, as we're talking about leadership and we're talking about marketing and branding and some of the myths that go along with that and how people can really hold themselves back, why is it important for people to market themselves? Why is it important for people to understand the importance of telling their story?
Okay, so let's look at it this way. If I were to say to you, Sam, I'm going to buy you a new car, because you need one, y'all. Y'all should have.
Stay on track.
Anyway, if I were to say, Sam, I'm going to buy you a new car, and you have two choices on who's going to make your car.
Okay.
Okay. Here are the two choices. You can either have a brand new car that is made by Mercedes-Benz,
Okay.
or you can have a car that is made by Crayola Play-Doh.
Who?
Crayola Play-Doh.
Okay.
Okay. If I were to give you those options, who would you choose to build your car?
Crayola doesn't make cars.
Okay, well, you could make one out of Play-Doh.
Okay, I would choose Mercedes.
Okay, you would choose Mercedes. And why would you choose Mercedes?
Well, Mercedes is known for making cars. They're known for excellence in their
Right.
vehicles. They're known for a certain level of prestige and quality with their vehicles.
So when you think about marketing, I want you to consider that because they have established their presence as a recognized leader in that industry, right? You don't think of Play-Doh as being one to build cars.
Right.
You think of Mercedes. They're a quality brand. Why? Because they are visible and they have influence in that market. So when you think about marketing and you want to come across as being a leader that is sound and a leader that's being strong, you want to be visible because that gives you influence. And then what else does it do? It gives you trust and credibility. You would have no trust in a car being made by Play-Doh,
Right.
because that's not what their niche is.
Right.
Their niche is Crayolas and Play-Doh and things like that. But Mercedes, you know that you're going to get a good, strong brand. Why? Because they are trusted. They are have been in the industry a long time. They have success. They've been transparent about their failures. They have products that work. So marketing does the same thing for you. It helps build trust and accountability and credibility with who you are because you're able to establish yourself as someone being credible. In addition, marketing also helps with network opportunities. Right?
How does marketing help with network opportunities?
Because it opens doors. If people don't see you, if you're not visible, if you're not credible, and if you're not putting yourself in position to meet people, then you're not going to have doors open for other opportunities.
Okay, but if I am marketing myself, if I am putting myself out there,
Right.
how does that open doors?
Because somebody might say, hey, that's something that resonates with me. The content that you're producing, that's something that I'm more interested in. Or, hey, can you come talk to this group of leaders about something that you talked about? And so that's happened with you and I.
Okay.
You and I have a niche. We've put things on social media, and somebody said, hey, we want the Knicks, Sam and Sharice to come do a presentation just because they saw some of the content that we put on social media.
That's fair. So what would you say are some of the biggest myths
Yeah.
around marketing or around pushing yourself or around getting involved with social media and trying to really be vulnerable
Yeah.
with what you have going on and who you are and what's happening. Because I'm not gonna lie, one of the things I don't like is I can't do anything around you because you are always putting stuff on social media, right? But what are some
Yeah.
of the biggest myths that go along with that?
And that's true. A lot of myths come from people feeling like it's inherently narcissistic or self-serving. People think if you put something out there that you're being egotistical.
Okay.
That, oh, it's all about me. And I think it's important to change that narrative and change that perspective because it's not just about you. We have to remember that we do things to help others. We live in an age, Sam, that you can go on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and learn how to do anything.
Okay.
Right? So do you look at saying, oh, they're egotistical because I went looking for help and they provided it? So you have qualities or gifts or things that are in you that you're able to help with others. If you're a campus principal, you're able to say, hey, I've been successful in the staff development. I've been successful in being able to move student achievement. I've been successful at leading a department. And so since you've gained these experiences and the success, why not share those things with others? So it's not about, oh, it's just about me. It's about putting things out there to help other people.
But I think that's a perspective shift.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who do make it about them.
Right.
There are some people who do focus on their contribution, their perspective, their activities, right? Their
Yeah.
outcomes. Is that, or could that be seen as narcissistic or egotistical, or even when they are doing that, they still could be in position to help others? Help me through that.
Yeah, they still can be in position to help others because there's nothing wrong with marketing and putting yourself out there. Again, I don't know anybody who gets in a profession and just says, oh, I don't want to be good. I don't want to be great. I don't want to have an impact. I don't want to make change. I just want to sit here and be complacent. I want to sit here and this have no legacy. If that's the case, then why are you even in any type of job that you're in? Everyone should be looking to self-improve, to motivate, to grow, and have that continuous improvement or continuous growth. So if you're not in a position to share that, then I question your passion and why are you even in the job that you're in?
That's interesting.
So to me, again, it's changing the perspective. I think there's a way to do it because it's important to still be humble about how you communicate the message and not a way where it's about me, but in a way where I'm sharing something to help somebody else.
Okay, so let's dig into that.
Okay.
How then can someone creatively do what you just said,
Right.
market themselves creatively, be humble about it, be helpful with it, but not fall into the myth of being egotistical?
I just think that's a personal, that's something that they have to work on personally. You have to always have a checks and balance. You have to have people in your corner to be able to give you feedback and to receive that. Are you coming across as being authentic? Are your motives pure? And the thing about it is time will tell everything. I heard someone say once before that time will either promote you or expose you. So are you being humble and authentic? Is it coming from a pure place or is there self-seeking? And I think time will tell.
Okay.
But it's important to surround yourself with people that will tell you the truth. It's important to stay centered and grounded on your core why and your purpose. And I think if you stay centered in that, then I don't think it'll lead you wrong.
Okay, so what are some creative strategies that people can use to start, doing this thing, like promoting themselves
Right.
and putting themselves out there and sharing the work and learning from others in the work? What are some ways they can do that?
Well, I think the first thing is important to identify who are you, right? If you want to build a brand, then what does your brand mean to you? Like, who do you want to be? What are your strengths? What is your passion? What are your values? What are your core principles? And I think once you identify that strategy of who you are, then you're able to then have a mission and vision and understand like who I want to be. Let me give you an example. When I was a principal, my brand as a principal was culture and climate. Okay, it was a non-negotiable for the campus. We were going to make sure that we built a campus where students felt comfortable in the learning environment because I felt that that would yield higher academic success. When teachers
Which you did, by the way.
which it did.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that was clearly communicated. it was clearly established. It was a mission and vision for the campus. And so creating these strategies, it's like, okay, we know who we are. We know who we want to be. This is our core passion. Everybody understands the mission and the vision. Now, the next strategy is to create content around that. Okay? So, what do you mean by that? Well, you can be in an organization and work where nobody can see the work, or to get buy-in and to have community engagement, you have to share what you're doing outside of the walls. Okay. So we sat and we met and we said, okay, everybody is going to have the expectation of posting on social media. At first, I had a lot of pushback because it's something different. It's something new that people hadn't done. But we set the expectation. Everybody's going to post on social media the great things that are already happening in the classrooms every day. So we put it out there. We put content out. And before long, Sam, everybody started knowing about our school. Everybody started seeing the success. Everybody started seeing how the teachers were engaged. The community started coming in. And that's a strategy of making sure that you create content so that other people can see what you're doing. And we use that, the form of social media as a strategy to help promote the things that we were doing. So you want to also, another strategy in marketing yourself is leveraging public speaking. Is there an opportunity for you to speak at a campus event? Is there an opportunity to speak at a district event?
Now, Reese, that sounds like a good idea, but not everyone is good at public speaking. Not everyone likes public speaking. Not everyone is comfortable public speaking. So how do they get around that?
They're just going to have to practice and put themselves out there. I mean, at some point, you just have to do it. You just have to do it. And you would be surprised at the opportunities that come out. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm the speaker at convocation. Let me tell you how small it could be. We were at a conference at Midwinter, and we were in a seminar. And at the end of the seminar, somebody said, will somebody please stand to share what they learned from the session? No pressure, no microphone. I stood up and I spoke. There was probably a room of 100 people, and I just said what I learned. Well, I must have said something that was significant, because at the end of that, my superintendent, my previous superintendent came up and said, who are you? You said something that was impactful, profound. I want to know more about who you are.
That's good.
So it doesn't have to be that you're on a stage or a platform, but maximize every opportunity to speak, because you never know who's in the room. You never know who's listening. What
I also heard you say is just do it. And there's always an element of a but, right? But I'm scared, right? But I don't know how, right? But I'm not comfortable doing that. And in order to get to the next level of leadership or next level in anything that you're endeavoring to do, we have to get the butt out the way, right? We have to just take the step, do the thing, get the feedback, and just get better, right? So that's awesome. That's good. Reese, what challenges have you faced? You know, you majored in communication, you teach others, you work with others, very high profile leaders. You've worked with districts, large districts. You work with principals to help them build their profile, understand their brand, as you even have done with yourself. What challenges do you face, or have you seen a trend with other people facing that could be an inhibitor or barrier to their success?
I think we kind of spoke on it earlier, is just the arrogance. You know, she thinks that she's all that, or what does she know? You know, I was able to matriculate within the education system rather quickly. And so here I am, young, Black, successful, having to manage and lead teams of over 40 people. And so one of the challenges that I got was, well, what does she know? Well, what makes her qualified? And instead of hiding behind the but, you push through it. And so for me, one of the challenge was being confident in knowing who I was, being confident in knowing the work that I've done, and that it wasn't just me, that it was a team effort, but to be able to say, hey, I know what I have, and I'm willing to share what I've learned with others, and not allow people's perceptions to intimidate or to have that fear factor for me.
So for the person that is watching this, for the person who wants to do what you're saying to do, who wants to take that step, who wants to promote, learn, help others learn from, they just want to take the first step. what's the one thing that they can do, the first step that they can do to take this journey towards debunking the myth of marketing and promoting themselves so that they can put themselves on trajectory to be successful?
I would say the first thing is just to do. And I think it's important to know that you are uniquely made. There's nobody else on this planet like you. Nobody has your DNA, nobody has your fingerprint, and God made you authentically who you are. So own that. You may be different from someone else, but that's what makes you you, and that's what we need. We don't need cookie cutter people all around. You and I are brother and sister, and we are the furthest thing alike from each other. You are successful in your own right, but I'm not you. And you're my bigger brother. So I always looked at Sam as, oh, he's so successful, he's so astute, and he's so well spoken. And I'm like unhinged and like more wild and aggressive in my communication, and he's more poised. And if I looked at you and said, oh, I can't be like him, and I never was authentically who I am, then I wouldn't be where I am.
Right.
So just encourage you to be you and be okay with putting yourself out there and not having to compare to anyone else.
That's good.
Would be my advice.
That's awesome. This is a hard question.
Okay.
There are things that women have to deal with sometimes that men don't. Any advice other than what you've said to the women out there who are doing this, who have the right motives, who have the right mindset, who just genuinely want to be better, do better, help others to get better, to the mothers, to the wives, to the working professionals out there, what advice do you have for them?
So women, I believe that it is important to have integrity and character in everything that you do. Let your work speak for itself, and that is all that needs to be had. Make sure that you voice your worth and don't just accept anything that's brought to the table.
Wonderful.
It's okay to advocate for yourself, especially when you have the work to back it up.
Good.
And so to the women's, be encouraged. I was the very first Black woman in Garland ISD, which is over 55,000 students, over 72 campuses, to have the title of Executive Director of Communications in 100 years. And so it can be done, but you have to believe in yourself and you have to let your work speak for itself. People will say whatever they want to say. People will try to say that you're not qualified, but again, know who you are.
That's
so
good.
I'm excited about the next generation. Always say when you make it to one level, reach back and help the next.
That's good.
And so be a mentor. If you see a young lady that's not on the right path or not making good decisions, pull her to the side, help her, mentor her, so that we can continue having women in leadership that are effective and making an impact.
Wonderful. And the same bodes well for men, right? So great job. Well, Rich, thank you so much. I appreciate it. As the landscape is changing, as things are shifting now for social media, Facebook at one time was the thing, right? Now
No,
Facebook,
it was MySpace.
MySpace, yeah,
Remember
MySpace
that?
was the
Remember
thing.
that?
Yeah, MySpace was the thing. And then went to Facebook, right, the
Right.
thing. And now it has shifted kind of from Twitter and now to IG. And as things just continue to evolve, how do you see this landscape shifting? What's next? What do we need to be preparing for as you see communication and marketing going? What are some of the things that you are saying, hey, be aware of, be mindful of this shift coming? What would you say that looks like?
So, I would say there's a lot of people that are still stuck on the traditional forms of media and marketing. The old days of printing in the newsletter, billboards, ads, although there's a niche for those things, you cannot have that focus as being your main target for marketing. Right now, everything is changing because of technology, and there's going to be so many more advances. There are going to be many more social media platforms that aren't even created yet. And the biggest thing that we need to be looking at and concerned about is AI. AI right now you don't even need real people to have marketing campaigns.
You mean I could have done this interview without you? I'm just playing.
Yes, you could have.
Yeah.
So you literally can go in and type create me a marketing video. I want the woman to look like this, the man to look like this. I want the background. You can submit it and boom, you've got a whole marketing campaign right there in front of you. So that's important to remember, that now if you don't control your narrative, one will literally be created for you. People can impose you. People can take a picture of you. They can even get your voice and make something where it actually looks like you, which is important. Which is why it's important to make sure that you are using the strategies of being visible, having credibility, networking, speaking, so that people know who you really are.
That's good.
Because coming in AI, I mean, anything can be created and generated, and it may not even be you.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, Reese, thank you for taking the time today to walk me through some of the myths with marketing yourself, some of the myths with really putting yourself out there to learn and to grow as an individual, and helping people learn who you are as an individual. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I'm glad we got through this without fighting or bantering. We were at least semi-professional going through this. So hopefully you learned something. Hopefully there was something that was said that can benefit you as a professional, as a leader, as my goal is to always provide content, resources, and information that can help us grow and help us get better in leadership. So Reese, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And until the next time.